12-year-old Ethan had never spent a night away from home. When his parents dropped him off at Pine Ridge Summer Camp, his hands trembled as he held his backpack. The cheerful songs, laughing children, and towering pine trees made him feel like he didn't belong. On the first day, Ethan barely spoke to anyone. While the other campers played football, raced through obstacle courses, and laughed around the lake, he sat quietly under a tree, reading a book. Some children thought he was strange because he was so quiet. That evening, the camp counselor announced the biggest event of the week, the Midnight Forest Challenge. Teams would hike through the woods, solve puzzles, cross rope bridges, and find a hidden treasure before sunrise. Ethan's team wasn't excited about having him. They believed he would slow them down. When the challenge began, the forest was dark and mysterious. The sound of crickets filled the air while the wind whispered through the trees. Halfway through the trail, the team reached a giant puzzle carved into an old wooden board. Everyone tried to solve it, but no one could. Ethan quietly stepped forward. "I think I know the answer," he said. Within minutes, he solved the puzzle. A hidden path opened. As they continued, they reached a fast-flowing stream with stepping stones. One teammate slipped and almost fell into the water. Without thinking, Ethan grabbed a long branch and pulled him to safety. For the first time, everyone looked at Ethan differently. Near the end of the challenge, thick fog covered the forest. The team became lost. Panic spread through the group. Ethan remembered something he had read in a survival guide. He noticed moss growing on one side of the trees and listened for the sound of the nearby river shown on the camp map. Calmly, he guided everyone back onto the correct trail. Just before sunrise, Ethan's team found the hidden treasure chest. Back at camp, the counselors announced the winners. Ethan's team cheered louder than anyone. The same campers who had doubted him carried him onto their shoulders. That evening around the glowing campfire, the head counselor smiled and said, "Strength isn't always about being the fastest or the loudest. Sometimes the quietest person has the greatest courage." Ethan looked around the circle. He had arrived at camp feeling invisible. He left with lifelong friends, confidence in himself, and the understanding that courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to help others even when you're afraid. From that day on, every time a new camper arrived feeling nervous and alone, Ethan was the first to welcome them with a smile because he knew exactly how they felt.